The easiest decision he'd ever made. That's how the new Reserve Bank Governor described his first call on interest rates today, when he left the official cash rate at a record low of 1.75% and signalled it could stay there for some time. Much of what Adrian Orr had to say was similar to his predecessors, Graham Wheeler and Grant Spencer, but it was how he said it that was of most interest. Our economics correspondent Patrick O'Mara reports.
Well, greetings, tēnā koutou katoa, Bulavanaka, kia orana. Welcome to the Reserve Bank and to our monetary policy statement.
Adrian Orr made his monetary policy debut today, and it seemed to be an easy decision.
I would have to say it's been the easiest decision that we've had to make, or I've had to make at least for 11 and a half years. Easy in the sense that we're in a good spot. We can keep the OCR where it is for a considerable period of time. The hard part about it is what to do next and when.
Mr Orr reminded markets that the next move could be up or down, which prompted a half-cent fall in the New Zealand dollar. But the new governor has a bigger mission, attempting to make the central bank more accessible. He says that starts with speaking plainly and openly.
The vast majority of the public had no idea who we are. So, it's a good thing on Saturday at the football ground, but not necessarily a good thing if we're trying to raise financial literacy and make people think harder about all of the things that are important to us, soundness and efficiency of a financial system.
That included presenting the bank's decision in graphic form, though Mr Orr is aiming to improve the rather outdated design.
I love the pictures, and Tom, he's not in the room, he's our chief drawer. We do actually hope, that's another area we hope to upgrade, Bernard, is the quality of our pictures. These were all we could get immediately off one of our kids' icons, actually. But it is exactly about that, is being able to explain the story simply.
Mr Orr also showed a light touch in replying to vexed questions, particularly about the New Zealand dollar, which most governors almost always prefer to avoid. This was how he dealt with a question about its half-cent dip.
Relieved would be an emotion, and I don't have an emotion over currencies, so no, I'm not relieved.
How does the bank view the fall?
We see it, there were probably more sellers than buyers at the previous price based on the future outlook for the interest rate differentials, and that will be factored into what we have to do next time we boil up our monetary policy.
But Adrian Orr made it clear his expectations of those it regulates, such as local banks whose Australian parents have been ripping their customers off.
We are doing our job, and we have upped that on this particular issue because culture is what we're trying to get at. So we're saying the culture of New Zealand banks have to be for New Zealand and consistent with our laws and expectations. Show us again how that is happening. Show us how it is different to what we're hearing from Australia.
Mr Orr's forthrightness struck a chord with analysts. Bank of New Zealand welcomed his clarity, instead of having to flounder through what it called the screeds of mumblings to find out what the central bank really thought. The chief economist at ASB, Nick Tuffley, says the new governor has been very clear about his mission.
I'd hate to use the cliche of awesome, spelling it O-R-R, but I think Adrian Orr's done a really good job with his first one. First up, the assessment appears quite realistic where the economy's going, but that sort of real step up in how the Reserve Bank is communicating.
Mr Tuffley says it'll be a good thing if the new governor does raise the profile of the Reserve Bank and the level of financial understanding. He says Mr Orr is off to a flying start. In Wellington for Checkpoint, Patrick O'Mara.